y'all, welcome to my modern homestead. My name is Janet, just in case you don't already know, and I'm so excited you're here. Today we are going to make a pie with our North Georgia candy roaster squash. If you watched a couple of videos back, you saw us processing those. I will link that description or that video right up here in this corner. So today, y'all, I meant to get this out earlier. We're doing the pie. I was supposed to do it yesterday, but I got so busy cleaning, I forgot all about it. And this tie is doing wonky things. But, I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, because I forgot about it, we're doing it today. I've been cleaning. I'm getting fall cleaning done early. I went through and made a list of what to do, and we're getting it done. But the first thing I need to do is puree this squash, because if you remember, we just scooped it out after we roasted it. I think what I'm going to do is just put it in the mini food processor and just process it down. I see a piece of peel I missed. So if you see any of that, if you're doing one of your own, make sure you get that out. And if you don't have a North Georgia candy roaster squash, you can always use a butternut squash or a pumpkin or canned pumpkin. Just adjust the liquid so you don't have too much liquid. Any winter squash. So anyway, let's go get the processor out and get this all pureed nice and pretty. Okay, I grabbed my pie plate while I was in there and the mini processor. And no, I don't have on makeup. I've been cleaning. I took a shower real fast and came in the kitchen to get busy, so I apologize. But at least my hair's clean, huh? Oh goodness. All right, let's dump this down in here. I'm nervous about trying this. Always nervous about a new recipe. I've seen some recipes that say blind bake your crust. Some say just pour the puree right in. My guys aren't that fussy. So I am just using my crust just the way it is. But if you like your crust more done and not soggy, make sure you blind bake. Hold on. Okay, as I was trying to say, if you don't want your crust to get soggy or a possibility of it getting soggy, blind bake it. But anyway, we're not worried about that. Let's just blend this up. I didn't tell you when we started, if you didn't see the other video, this was measured out for 15 ounces of squash. Sorry about all that noise, everything is falling. Ooh, so pretty. Look at that, y'all. Isn't that pretty? Okay, for this recipe, we need 3 tablespoons of melted butter. So I'm just going to put these in my little bowl. And normally I would do it on the stove, but today I'm going to carefully and slowly put it in the microwave to melt. Okay, let's put our pie crust into our pie plate. I love to make my own pie crust, but I needed to use this one. We made a pie a while back, if you've been with me, a few weeks ago. And I don't want this pie crust to go to waste. So we're going to use it today. And then when we do pies in the fall and winter, I can make more pie crust. The recipe I use makes, I think it makes 2 crusts. So I always have one, and I can put one in the refrigerator. Oh, we made a pecan pie. I couldn't remember what pie we made. And I'm not getting real fussy with the crust. I like this crust because It just does pretty things when you put it in a pie plate. All on its own. I like the ruffled look. Ooh, my fingernails keep poking holes in it. It's alright. If it happens, you just fix it. Okay, that's good enough. Just make sure you get it pressed up against those sides really well. Let's check the butter. We're probably going to need a few more seconds. You want to stop it before it starts popping all over your microwave. Ta-da! There we go. There's the pie crust. My butter did need more time, so I'm getting out the mixer. There we go. Put this to the side so we can put it back up. Let's get our bowl. Okay, I went ahead and got my bowl. We'll set it to the side. I need to measure out our spices. I'm going to use, one recipe said a whole teaspoon of cinnamon, one said a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. So you know what? I'm going to split the difference. Let's go about 3/4 of a teaspoon. Then let's see, ginger. About a half a teaspoon of ginger. And guys, if you would just prefer the candy roaster squash as it is, you don't have to use any spice at all. Half a teaspoon of ginger. Then let's do some ground nutmeg. Now I have fresh nutmeg, but I don't want to grind it right now. So we're going to use, again, one recipe says half a teaspoon, another recipe says 1/4 teaspoon. I don't know. Let's do somewhere in between, maybe, I guess. All right. Nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon. And then 1/8 teaspoon of ground allspice. I don't have an 1/8 teaspoon measure, so I'm just using a half of a 1/4 teaspoon. Is that clear? All right. Oops, let me put the lid on my nutmeg. All right, and then I'm using unsalted butter, so I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. This little spoon is 1/4 teaspoon. And voila, there are all our spices. Now I also did measure out, I've never seen this, this kind of made me nervous. It's 2 tablespoons of flour. That's what the recipe said, so that's what we're doing. The recipe also called for 1/2 cup of evaporated milk. And if you're using sweetened condensed milk, don't add the sugar. Oh, speaking of sugar, I didn't measure that out, did I? I need to do that. It's 1/2 cup of sugar. Now, because we're using homemade puree, we're going to use 1/2 cup of evaporated milk. Oops. Okay, so we're using just a hair more. It'll be all right. Here we go, y'all. I got it. 1/2 cup of sugar. All right, let's get our puree into the bowl. I might should move y'all back or lift y'all up or something. Let's put y'all back on the tripod. Hold on. Now, how's that? Let's add in the puree. Oh, that's so pretty, y'all. That looks like baby food. We're just going to get this out. Y'all, all my praying friends, I have a co-worker that, well, she's used to be my co-worker. She was a teacher's aide. She lost her daughter yesterday in a car wreck. She was a senior in high school. We just, my hometown, had just started back school. Y'all please pray for my friend and her other youngest daughter. I lost my boyfriend in high school, and there's just no words to describe that. It's hard. So y'all just pray for her. All right. There's our puree. I wish y'all could see it in person. It's so pretty. Now we're going to add our spices that we just measured out. Add in our sugar, our flour, the milk, two eggs. Got puree on my finger, I'm sorry. Alright, and then we need our butter. Now before we actually mix this all together, mix the butter into this, I'm going to stir this together just a little bit. Alright, let's add in the butter. And we're going to mix this until it's all smooth and creamy. Smells good. There we go. I think it's all mixed. If y'all could just smell it. Oh my goodness. Let's pour this into the pie crust. Forgive that. That's just where I had the processor blade sitting. All right. Into the pie crust we go. Let me scoop out this. This is my little pumpkin spatula. How appropriate. I bought this before we ever even knew we were moving last year. I think it was before we knew we were moving. Who knows? That was a crazy time of year. All right. Now, we're going to put this in the oven for 45 to 55 minutes at 375 degrees. Again, I've seen different temperatures, so this is an experiment today. Before I put it in the oven, I am going to wrap the edges with foil so that they don't burn. This is always so hard to me. I can never figure out how to get it just right without messing up my crust and make them stay on. Keeping it real, y'all. It's real life. I'm not a baker. That's not gonna work. That's too skinny. Okay, good enough. Let's get it in the oven. Okay, y'all, the more I think about this, the more that temperature is really bothering me. I'm going to leave it at 375 degrees for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to bump that temperature down to 350 to finish cooking it. So let's hope it works. So y'all, this is what I've been working on. I went through and made a list of everything I need to get done in this house. And yesterday I got to the laundry room and guest bath. Today I did the office and part of the dining room. I've not checked off anything. But hopefully by the end of the week, this coming week, I will have the whole house deep cleaned. It's a job, but it's worth it. But for now, we've got to clean up this kitchen where we made a mess with the pie. gotten 15 minutes. We got those all washed. Wonder if we can get the rest of it cleaned up before the 15 minutes is up. Till we get the beaters dry. Let's put this away. Wipe down the counter. Sit this on the shelf. This cup was clean. I was just using it to hold y'all up while I was working. And then we just have to sit this back up. And that, but I'll have to do it in a second. This is my ginger I thought I had lost when I was making my soup yesterday. Okay. And ta-da! All done. That's how you keep your kitchen clean, guys. It doesn't have to be hard or take a long time. Timer is going off, so let's turn it down to 350. Start and time it for, let's start with 30 minutes. We'll be back. Okay, it's hollering at me. Ooh, it smells good. Let's get a knife. It's going around in circles. I think we're good, y'all. Oh my goodness. It's so pretty. It smells so good. Let's sit it down right here. Oh my goodness. Ow, it's hot. Y'all could just smell it. My goodness, y'all. We did it. We made the pie from scratch and cleaned up in just a matter of minutes. Oh my goodness. Y'all, you know I love it when you come and spend a few minutes with me. It really does mean the world to me. Because you could be spending that time somewhere else, but you chose to stay here with me. And all of my new friends who have joined us, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. I hope you enjoy your time here. That's a little bit of cinnamon there, and somehow my crust got cracked. But you all, you know I love it when you come and spend a few minutes with me. So until we meet again, may you be blessed. Love you guys. Okay, moment of truth.
Tastes like sweet potato pie. That's really good.
Sweet potato pie?
Yeah, pumpkin pie.
It's good.
Pumpkin pie tastes like pumpkin. This tastes like sweet potato pie.
My opinion was that's the best pumpkin pie I've ever made. It was
It's
good.
the only pumpkin pie you ever made.
It is not.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
That's good.
It is very good.
We need another one.
I've got plenty. Thank you.
Mm.